All right, hello, Unnamed Thursday. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. How you guys doing? All right.
Good.
We might as well start with what? We might as well just start with the Mets stream, right, Whitney? I mean, is there anything else that's?
Well, I got a text from a friend who's a big he's an Unnamed show fan, but he's also a big Pick'em fan. And I haven't listened to Pick'em this week, and he said Dave's fuming.
We played sound on my show this morning.
Yeah, I tried to save it for the.
It's always good. It's always good to blow it an hour before our show.
I know. I love that.
Well, it wasn't an hour. It was released an hour. Right. In hindsight, it should have been after because it's a live show.
Mm-hmm.
I knew going into the Unnamed show, into Pick'em.
Wouldn't be able to help yourself.
I was like, don't talk. This is an unnamed topic. But Bosco was there.
Sure.
And it just went off. So I was fuming.
Can you walk me through it so I don't?
Okay, I'll walk you through it.
Yeah. Smithy and Rico.
We'll start with the Mets stream because the Mets stream is unbelievable, right? You got this just misfit crew,
right?
You can't come up with a crew like this, and with anything on these streams, there's no showmanship. This is an authentic live and die. We have some of those people like Borelli with the Islanders, or these are people who live and die with their team. And the Mets have struggled for so long, and it's been great. The streams have been great. So the stars kind of align, and it's going to be Phillies Mets, who arch rivals, never have played in the playoffs, I don't think. So I sent out an email, just a reminder. Hey, I expect as many as you can for the Phillies to be in the streams with the Mets fans. Seemed reasonable. Smitty wrote back, I have family plans. I'm not going to be able to make it this weekend. I didn't write anything back. Fine, it is what it is. I guess not overly shocking. I didn't know what it was. I didn't inquire into what it was. Turns out someone told me, I forget, they're like, it's a 40th birthday party for Smitty. And I was kind of led to believe his wife planned it a long time in advance, which I could see being very difficult to get out of if you have all this plan. Now, why it's
right
both games, I thought maybe it was going somewhere. I'm not sure why.
He did go to one of the games, right? He wrote in his blog.
Well, yeah, that I didn't know. Because I don't know how a 40th birthday party is planned for one of the games. Whatever. I didn't say much about it.
Mm-hmm.
the games come and go, and the Sunday game is one of the best games in the history of baseball, right? The game.
All these Mets games they're amazing.
Back and forth. Crazy. Back and forth. And there's no Smitty, which I knew, and no Bosco.
Yeah.
Which is right on course for Bosco. The Monday morning rolls around, and I get Gaz texting me. He's we got a situation at the office. I'm like, what? All-time blow up. And it's Smitty. And he sends me these videos. Have you guys seen them?
Oh,
Smitty's going ballistic.
Crazy.
Ballistic
banging
at the office,
and
which was
almost like if I'm Gas, I'm like, this guy's gonna
eye twitching, going.
He was crazy. Here it is.
Come here. Do you want to talk in private?
No, you just want camera off.
No. Because I told my wife I want to do it publicly. I told my wife I was going to do it publicly. Do you want to talk in private?
I know. I don't. Really
no. Okay, then leave.
I don't really care.
Leave. Yes.
And he's leaning in on him. He's kind of leaning in on him a little.
Multiple videos of this.
Gaz is so happy.
To be clear, Gaz asked him, why you weren't at the street. Right?
Happy birthday! I think he said something to that effect.
He was mocking.
A little needle. I hope the birthday party was good. Which again, it's the game of maybe the century. So at this point, I'm like, is there something we don't know going on? Is this a dying last wish or a birthday party? It's almost he's reacting so strongly, and he's actually saying, you guys are going to be sorry when you see the blog I write. You guys are going to be really, really fucking sorry.
Right, which he did write.
The blog essentially, in a nutshell, is he now appreciates life. So he had a tragic incident. He kind of ties it. His wife's
father
was one of the pilots in 9/11.
Crazy.
Insane. Tragic.
And to be clear, one of the pilots who wasn't one of the pilots who crashed the plane in there, just for
clearly. Right. So tragic.
But what are you laughing at? I just wanted the record.
But it's a long story, essentially, how a little of that, but more like he wants to appreciate his life.
His
with
kids.
his
I took it as
family.
his kids.
Perspective. He has some added perspective because this happened. And when his birthday comes, he wants to be able to hold his kids and say, you know, I spent this, which I, as a father, and I'm kidding, of course, I feel very bad for his father-in-law and for Smitty's family. But this idea to me, and this might sound cruel, this idea that happened so he can't be on a stream feels to me, and he may disagree, like a big leap.
I would agree it's a big leap.
That's all.
And I, by the way, I get wanting to be with your family.
Of course.
And so it was a big nothing burger. And to me, it was more, Smitty being Smitty, which he has done forever, which is like, I don't work hard. I'm going to overreact and make excuses to why my career maybe hasn't been as successful as others at Barstool. He has not worked.
He blames you for that?
Yeah, I don't know who he blames. I don't know if he's that delusional, but he does these episodes. It's never his fault. And I can go through the history of Barstool when Nate had the blog for him, like Donovan McNate or whatever he was doing for him. When he was doing the game time and it wasn't his fault because he didn't have a computer, to the pasta sales. It's never his fault why he doesn't work, why he doesn't blog NFC Championship, Villanova basketball. It's just never, he doesn't work hard. He is a lazy worker. He has been that. He hadn't written a blog in a month. So what, but even all that, I've come to kind of, all right, well, that's Smitty being Smitty. Like, but then.
Okay, yeah.
It was the next day after all this blowout, and there's another Mets. The party's over. He's exploded.
The party's finally over. Yeah.
The Mets-Phillies next game is up. Tune into the stream, bottom of the second or top of the second, top of the third, something like that. Guess the two people who are once again not on the stream, Smitty and Bosco. Like, you can't make it up. And at that point,
a hell of a party.
I'm texting HR. I'm saying I gotta look at.
Are you actually though? Because I know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Literally, I'll read it right now.
Fire them?
Yes.
Because
more
nobody,
Smitty.
But Dave,
more
you understand?
Smitty.
Everybody watching never thinks that you're ever going to fire one of these guys. You've done this many times. Boy, you cried wolf like many.
Correct.
Times.
Now here's the difference, and it's a subtlety to it. Smitty gets away with that crying, obnoxious behavior he did over the weekend.
Okay.
But by not showing up the next day, that to me was like direct disobedience. Correct.
Yeah,
so it's like, all right, you're done. Then in the exchange of, and I just was like, how can you look at Smitty's contract? What's the deal if I fire him? It's 3 months severance. That's what it would have been. His contract ends the end of 25, December 25. So in the exchange of doing this, he walked in. Not only did he walk in, he starts taunting people. First pitch, he's in the cave, home run Mets. It was the end of the series.
Never would have got that video. Great video.
That's great timing.
I thought, did he leave after or just walk out?
He walked out and came back in.
Oh.
So
is he around, Justin or Austin? Is he around?
That's a power walk.
Here they both are.
Oh, great. Look at these two.
And I'm curious on everything I've just said, like what Smitty's response is, because again, and by the way, I didn't send the email like at Smitty. It was email to basically everybody. Everybody saw the email. It was the content. And I think I said 4 Philly people like Roan, Smitty, Fran, and I don't even know. So there's one more, I think.
Sister, maybe? No.
I don't know. So I don't understand his reaction at all when he got so mad at. Yeah.
What do you got to say for yourself, Smitty?
First of all, it is beyond despicable, embarrassing, and I don't know any other phrase of it than, and unfortunately, I don't want to use anything else because it doesn't describe it. Evil, than to bring up my wife and her father in this context.
You bring it up, Smitty.
You blogged about it.
You bring it up.
Because
you blogged about it.
She's my wife, and she is my grandfather to my children, Dave.
You bring it up, Smitty.
Smitty, you did blog about it.
This is a humanity
What
issue,
are you talking about?
Dave.
Are you kidding or?
Smitty,
No,
can I
he's
ask you a
nuts. He's
question?
become Bosco.
No,
Whitney, go ahead.
Let me.
Can
Do you think looking back, because the
Smitty, one sec.
original tweet from Dave was like classic Smitty wasn't here or something. Do you think maybe instead of writing the blog, it should have just been like, yeah, I had something going on and not even written the book?
He's not listening to you right now.
Smitty, do you
Am
want
I going to be
here?
interrupted every 2 seconds?
I'm trying to ask. I'm sorry.
Whitney asked you a question, which was basically, do you think maybe you can talk all you want after this? Do you think maybe you overreacted to Dave's tweet, which was clearly just fucking around?
No.
Then why don't you quit?
Dave, I am eternally grateful to you and for this position. And even after what you just said, I forgive and love you.
Is this a bit or something?
No, this is what we're dealing with.
Oh, because I mean,
Yeah.
like he shouldn't. He said nothing wrong in the last 10 minutes, Smitty.
No, technically he didn't. Technically,
What's
he didn't.
Smitty?
Dave never brings this up if you didn't write that
You
blog.
blogged about-
Dude,
so
I'm
you
so
blogged
sorry
about
for your
it.
wife's
You-
family. And
Yes.
Everybody is. It's horrific.
It's terrible.
Horrible.
So on
But
August,
you blogged it.
So, you know what? I'm not gonna go the vindictive route because that's not what my mother-in-law and wife would want. I'm gonna go.
Did you blog it or not?
I'm gonna need the floor for like 2 minutes if I'm gonna stay.
Go
here.
ahead. The floor is
okay?
yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm not gonna go the vindictive route. That's not what my mother-in-law and wife would want. That's not what they've taught me over the past.
But you went ham.
I'm gonna leave next word. This is dead serious. My mother-in-law and wife and brother-in-law, they're the most beautiful souls in the world. And I'm not going to go the vindictive route. I'm going to go the route of love. So over the weekend, I've had a pretty rough year and a half, as does my wife, dealing with circumstances here and the negativity that comes from it. Again, just let me go. And this weekend wasn't about my birthday. Like I don't care about my birthday. It was about spending time with my family, the people that I care about and I love about the most. And it was the happiest weekend of my life, and I don't regret it one bit. And I knew I was going to get flack for it. I knew it was probably my end of my career here. I knew it. And it was the most difficult thing I've ever had to write. And anybody who reads that blog and dismisses it, they just don't, they don't get it. They don't see the subliminal messaging in it. And I encourage everyone to go back and read it, especially parents. And it was a very difficult write because I knew it was on the line. And the reaction was expected. It was expected. Even people from in here I thought like I could trust and talk to. Like I'm kind of very disappointed. And in that blog, my father and I, we never really had like a really lovey, huggy relationship. Like we knew we loved each other, but we never said it. I said it in that blog, and it was hard for me. It was really hard for me because like we just never do it. And you know who reached out to me first after I wrote that blog? It wasn't my dad. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second, please. Scroll down. Happy holidays to you and yours. Oh, thank you, and wish you and yours a happy one too. This is from Wednesday, June 19th. Hey, cousin Mike. My family and I are very sorry to hear about Dave's cancer diagnosis. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. Cousin Linda, yourself, and the rest of the family. Thanks. Hopefully cancer gets removed and understands things are under control. And then on Monday, Adam read what you wrote today. Well done. Give me a call when you get a chance. And I gave your father a call. And it was the most inspirational conversation I've ever had. We talked about fatherhood. And he talked about, he loves you so much, Dave. He loves you so much. You are so lucky to have him as a father. And I know you can't empathize with my situation because you don't have kids, but maybe you can empathize with your father's situation. And Whitney and Kirk, I know you two have kids. Maybe you guys can sympathize bringing up 9/11 in this fucking situation. How horrific that is.
Smitty, you brought it up. You brought it up. Don't bring my kids into it. Then you brought it up. You hold on. You blogged about it. You blogged it. You wanted 2 minutes. You've had like 5. You brought it up first. It's a horrible thing. We all have tremendous sympathy for you. But if you want to spend,
I don't want sympathy. I don't want sympathy. I'm fine.
Well,
we don't want sympathy. We want to be treated. We want to be treated like humans. We want to be treated like humans.
Smitty, you don't work. I don't ask you to work. I've asked you to work once in 2 years.
Dave, check your text messages from August 9, 2023.
What?
Joe.
That's the day you said I wrote 7 blogs in one day. Check your text messages.
It's a year ago.
Yeah, it was.
Smitty, why don't you quit? Why don't you quit? It's so awful. Why don't you quit?
Because I'm proving a point, Dave.
To who?
I'm proving to the world.
No, you're not.
Fire anyone.
Like I think maybe I'm doing you a favor. I have to fire you. You need help.
Smitty, you sound like you're. I've been there. You sound like you're struggling. I'm just saying. I like you. Like you gotta
get help.
Calm down. You just gotta.
And here's the thing.
Good.
I got help. I was depressed really, really bad over the past year and a half. Really, really bad. I got help. I got antidepressants. Okay. I got antidepressants. I went on therapy.
Then this isn't the place. Darkest. Like I've had this conversation with the guy next to you.
I agree. This isn't the place. But you've ignored me for a year and a half, Dave. You've ignored me for a year and a half, and I'm choosing love here. I'm choosing love.
What are you talking about?
Try choosing love one time, Dave.
Whitney,
choose work, maybe.
How have I ignored you? Like I don't because what was I?
Check your text messages from August 9th, 2020.
I didn't respond to a text.
No, you definitely did. And then you went on Barstool Radio and said I was doing daddy daycare. Ask me where I was.
Where were you?
One more thing.
You can't drop the mic then.
I do forgive you. And I do love you. Because if my wife and my brother-in-law and my mother-in-law can forgive the fucking terrorists that killed the grandfather and my fucking kids, I can forgive Dave Portnoy.
That's a Hall of Fame quote.
All kidding aside, I actually like.
That's great.
He's a really nice guy, and like that was like he seems like he's a little unhinged.
I think we're good with Rico. We don't need
around.
We're good.
Like Rico, you look like the most normal human in the world right now to me.
Thanks.
And you're doing great, dude. We know.
We're good. We don't need him. But when Rico's the least crazy by far, like what the fuck?
But I'm not kidding. I feel like bad.
Well, you were making jokes though, Whitney. You were trying to get me to. You were trying to get me to break in the middle.
You were mocking the,
You were trying to get me to break in the middle of it. Whit.
That's insane. I didn't make one joke.
Well,
I'm like worried for that.
Didn't you say Jew?
I said Jew.
But not with an exclamation point though. That's.
I didn't use the exclamation.
Listen, he needs help.
Here, I've been there. You guys know I've been there. Like he's
like
there.
manic.
Yeah, he's there right now. Like there's no.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know the text he's talking about. I don't know anything he's talking about.
That's what manic is. I don't even want to like talk about this because I feel really bad and like worried.
Dave, you gotta like do. I'm not saying fire him. I don't want him fired, but like you got to tell him to like just. Although I guess he doesn't work anyway, so I don't know how you.
That's what I don't know. I don't know what's the date?
August 9th, 2023.
I kept it in. Am I allowed to make a little snide comment?
I don't know, man.
What? Like, but when the conversation that goes to with my dad, it's like, oh my God, like my dad, that's my dad. What is it? How do I even find? I guess I haven't talked to him that much.
It took them to forgive bin Laden for Smitty to forgive you. It was that extreme a situation.
That was crazy. I don't want to say crazy. That was an incredible quote.
It's an amazing quote.
I'm at a loss for words.
I think it was 3 mic drops within the last 3 minutes too, which is pretty good. That might be the craziest thing I've ever been a part of.
The only thing that wasn't fair was that not one of us are bringing up 9/11 had it not been in the blog. Like that, we didn't.
You think I had a fucking idea that his father-in-law?
Nobody wants to make light of 9/11.
By the way, you're coming at me. Kirk made it clear. other pilot was.
For
That
the
was the
record, I
most
wanted to
fucked
make
up
sure that
thing
people
that
knew
was
that he
said.
was one of the pilots who was hijacked. The saying he's a 9/11 pilot. That's all.
It's a tough situation because that's like serious, but he's saying such insane
it's very serious. That's
ramblings.
He sounds deranged. I thought it was a bit. I thought it was like a fucking Andy Kaufman bit, but it's not. I know it's Smitty and he's nuts. So, but that was.
I'm looking. I have
August 9th.
August 9th.
He said you made fun of him for daddy daycare, so I imagine he was doing something like important with his kids. Maybe something.
Well, all right, August 9th. What do you do here? You wrote 7 blogs all of July. That's what I said. Had a second kid May 29th on paternity leave. Up until recently, we'll be blogging more, but things have been going on personally. If you need to talk about off-record, non-contact, Ken, are you still on paternity leave, I asked. Not technically, but I probably should be. Was offered 16 weeks by Penn. Said I only needed 4 to 6. I said, Penn doesn't own Barstool. I do. I expect people to earn their salaries. Also, future remote work isn't going to work. I want people either in New York or Chicago. Obviously, doesn't have to be figured out instantly, but office isn't optional. Hey, I get 100%. We just need to talk off the record about what's going on with me then. A doctor's appointment for a kid morning. Part of issues. I'll be back office tomorrow. I said, okay.
All right, I get that.
I didn't ask about it?
Yeah,
You get it from
didn't ask about it.
You get it from Smitty's perspective, you're saying, Whit?
Yeah, because I'm assuming, and I don't want to assume, but I bet you they're probably going through something with his
the
newborn.
Kid,
and because he looked at it like you never kind of asked about it, I see where he's coming from.
Listen, yeah, I guess I can see that a little, but you can also just tell me.
Yeah.
But
he's probably got the nerves that like you do make everything content, which I totally have never had a thing. I've never had a thing where you've always known in my life and experience with you, but maybe with him it's different.
Well, the three of us, we knew what was going on with you.
And you
didn't say a fucking thing. Like that's not right. But so I'm
just trying. I'm thinking out loud here.
And also, I get that if that's an isolation, there is nothing with Smitty really can be, from my perspective, you can be, well, that's gold, is looked at in a vacuum with him, because this is 10 to 12 years of excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. And even the way he offered, like the paternity leave thing, is like, I should be offered 16 weeks. I said I only need 4. It to me, it didn't register. If it's a real issue, you tell me. And I've had people who haven't worked for over a year with like personal stuff that I haven't said a word at some level, but
no, same. I've told you.
And by the way, I didn't say anything to him or complain about him not working or send a text from August 9th to May 24th.
I just think where he loses me in the argument is nobody brought the 9/11 thing except him. He introduced it to the conversation. Then he acts insanely offended when it's brought up in the conversation after he introduced it.
Well, yeah, that's unfair.
Mentally, he's like,
oh, I agree. That's what
right now.
I think that's what was concerned.
Yeah, and we're hammering it here. I don't like, because it is kind of serious. Like, if this place is so bad for you,
don't do it. Yeah,
and so mean to you, then you have the option to leave. And the facts are, when his contract's up, every single time he comes in, thanks me, asks for more money and a raise, and I basically, like, I guess, I give it, like, there's no gun to anybody's head to be here. If it's making you, I've had this conversation with Bosco in the height of the Bosco-ness, like, and I am friends with Bosco. I'm like, this isn't the place for you. You get worked up. So, like, nothing was said that mean to Smitty that causes this, unless he's whole. But that's where I have the issue. If he's saying the grudge started, what was it, August? Well,
August,
what about the 9 years before that? Like, this isn't somebody where it's always one thing, and yeah, it's a serious thing. He hasn't said it. He's never, like, I'm not a mind reader, and it's not kindergarten, unfortunately.
No, yeah, I don't even know what to do after this.
Why was did Bosco have some oblos while he was late?
Yes,
but in fairness, Rico, I feel like Rico's been hammering it right now.
I said during the thing, I was mad at Rico. He got lumped in. It wasn't like, I was more, I can't believe Smitty isn't there the next day. We do have ads. Tommy John is hands down best underwear I've ever worn. They're silky, soft, breathable. By the way, I don't feel good about this.
Neither do I. I don't like this.
No, I like conflict, but I don't like like I said, I recognize that the body motion, these
like Kirk. Remember the one time you came on, you had a show, and it was like 10 minutes of you talking, and then you went away for a little bit. Like that was similar, where it was like he's not in a good headspace.
You've lost control of the ship, and it's like, especially at this company, like you don't. Like I'll be honest, he's not gonna like hearing this. I don't think anybody did anything wrong. Like Dave's tweeting about Smitty up being there is a lighthearted tweet. He's just fucking around. Like that's not a big deal. Smitty intellectually knows that, I think, but right now is not the place to, like to.
And unfortunately, like when Gaz is like, "Hey, how was the birthday?" He will invoke the 9/11. So
that's also Gaz's job too. He's got to fuck. He's supposed to be fucking around.
Yeah.
That's his job.
But it is comfortable underwear. Way too often guys are wearing these old saggy, sipped, cheap underwear. Grow up, buy better underwear. Tommy John will change your life. Great days begin with great underwear. Go to TommyJohn.com/unnamed. Get 25% off your first order with code unnamed. Also, Jackpot. Feeling lucky? Well, get ready to try your luck with Jackpot, America's #1 lottery app. With Jackpot, you can order Powerball, Mega Millions tickets right on your phone. They even have official state lottery games. Every day, there are millions up for grabs right on your phone. New customers get a free lottery ticket. Use code Barstool. That's code Barstool for a free Powerball or Mega Millions ticket. Don't wait. Download Jackpot now for your chance to win big. Good luck. And I'd also like to say on that, as I'm thinking, on what he sent, like if you are going through stuff, you should probably tell your boss. Like if there's a reason you're unable to work, before it gets to the point months later where someone's like, well, this guy's not working. Like, that's how normal society works. And people can say a lot of things, but I've had so many people, Barstool, with real personal issues. They are not, I know the line between
both of us, the two guys you're on with.
So
it's true.
But whatever. This is a real issue. So, I mean,
it can be, I can see how it could be tough maybe to bring it up because they're afraid you're going to make it into the content. Like I do get, but I understand that. I do understand that.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying maybe that's effective. I don't know him very well. I've always liked him, but that was weirder than like a Bosco freak out.
That wasn't like Barstool content.
Right. It was real like to bleed
real like
something else.
Well, you were trying to break me with.
Yeah, that was inappropriate. I was offended by that.
No, I shouldn't have said the Jew line. I wasn't joking when I said try love. I wasn't joking when I said
you had to be try love. I don't even know what he's forgiving me for. What is he even forgiving me
for? I'll get your dad. I don't get the part of your dad.
I would have loved to be on that conversation. Holy cow.
That's the most inspirational call he's ever had in his life.
Holy cow.
That was the craziest thing.
He's like, your dad's like, don't vote Trump.
Oh, jeez.
I know my dad does like Smitty.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they do a show together?
Yeah. My dad blamed it on balls, why it didn't become a huge success.
We talk about something else before we get out of here. So just something lighter, anything. I don't fucking.
That was dark. So what do we do? What do I do? I guess I got to get HR.
I would say to him,
I would call him.
I got to call him?
No, you could text. I would say like Smitty, like all kidding aside, like don't like just stay away for like a couple of weeks. I mean, I know he does it anyway, but like I wouldn't want him in the office. He seems like he's a ticking time bomb. No, you don't think Whit? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
yeah, it wasn't great.
I think my favorite clip of the stream too was that lunatic Max just burying that cameraman.
That was unbelievable.
I was like, holy shit.
But to Max's credit,
hit the cameraman or did he hit the phone?
The phone. He apologized right after. And Dukes was the cameraman who's the perfect guy. So he knew he fucked up half it.
Look at this lunatic.
I mean, this is like his face at the end before he swings is so. Oh, he's got the plumber's crack. That face.
That's a lighter note. That's why we do the streams.
We could. It's too bad the Mets won the series because if the Mets lost, that Clemmer clip about Bryce Harper would have been.
Did you see last word Clemmer? he came out after.
He got you.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm mad I lost my bet, but it's like I have nothing against the Mets. It's not like they're arch rival. All right, I gotta think. That was. Why would you even come on if you're in that?
Well, we asked him to come on. I mean, he's not going to say no. No, I mean, I don't.
Bosco.
Do you feel
Bosco just sitting there?
And
do you feel guilty?
Probably feeling so bad.
Do you feel bad, Dave? Do you feel guilty or?
No, I'm worried about him.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah. And I'm not friends with him, and I don't particularly care for him.
Right. I mean, that was like he was close to just literally bawling.
I don't know what.
Well, he's talking about his dad, his wife's dad, Pat. Like, there's a lot of emotions right now.
I couldn't really hear
you.
You were making a bunch of jokes, so I couldn't really at that point. But you were, I mean, Whitney was really bringing it on.
Can we see one ice? Can we see the ice celebration before we go? Because we got that win the other night. Kirk, you got to start betting hockey overs.
I know.
Right. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
You think this is a man that's unhinged?
15 times. We're back, baby. And this. Woo! Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm hoping Smitty feels better at stuff. All
Yes,
seriousness.
yes.
He's a really nice guy.
He is. Right, Dave?
Am I signing off?
Yeah, we got to sign off. We gotta protect the office.
Goodbye.
Bye.